Let's talk about the pink elephant in the room. I want to clear up some common assumptions people make about teaching blind students music. Blind students are naturally gifted in music. Visually impaired students possess perfect pitch. Their other senses are heightened. Blind people will be great piano tuners. And they cannot learn music notation. When teaching a blind student any wind instrument, assume they learn best through sound, touch, repetition, and precise verbal instruction. And avoid assuming they are naturally gifted or require a completely different curriculum. They simply need accessible pathways to the same musical goals. Before we ever start music making with a visually impaired student, there are a few steps that we need to take. And these steps set the foundation for trust, safety, and a successful learning environment. The first step is building rapport. I open up by having a comfortable conversation or dialogue with my student. And this will help her actually know my voice. This will also help her know my teaching style. Establishing rapport helps the student feel safe, supported, and confident in the learning process. Next, we create a consistent physical setup. I help the student build a mental map of the room by walking through my room together so we know where the chairs, the stands, cases, and pathways. Consistency reduces the anxiety and helps the student navigate the space independently. After that, we begin tactile exploration. Before playing a single note, the student needs time to feel the flute, the keys, the rods, the embouchure plate, and the balance points. So this tactile mapping becomes their mental blueprint of their instrument. Next, I use tactile markers, but only where they truly help. So what I've done, these tactile markers are pretty much 3D, and she can actually feel the shapes, right? So she knows finger 1 is a small circle. She knows finger 2 is medium square, and then she also knows finger 3, which is your ring finger, are bigger circles. Okay, so she would know where they are, but again, they can be dependent on this. So once she has the fingering concept, take these stickers off. Okay, when a student can't see finger placement, hand over hand guidance becomes essential. So I gently just guide their hands to the correct keys and balance points. This will let them feel what proper technique is supposed to be. Okay. Once these prerequisites are in place, this will reduce anxiety, increase independence, and help them move confidently during rehearsals. Here are some quick supports that make learning music accessible for your visually impaired students. First, work with your Braille transcriber to get Braille music and tactile materials ready early. For my district, it takes them 2 weeks, so make sure you plan early, okay? Secondly, use tools from the American Printing House for the blind to give students tactile access to notation. Third, I lean towards the Suzuki method, also known as the mother tongue approach. There's lots of listening, lots of modeling, and lots of imitation. And fourth, teach rhythm through verbal rhythm models instead of pointing to notation, right? So for instance, I use fruit syllables. So for a quarter note, I would say plum. For 2/8 notes, apple. For 4/16 notes, watermelon. You keep the explanation short and simple, and always provide recordings for exercises and those pieces that you are playing in class, so students can actually practice independently and build strong oral memory. Here are some quick practice priorities for my visually impaired student. First, ear training and memorization must be taught. These skills become their foundation for learning new music. Second, focus on long tones and breath control. Tone is everything, okay? And breath work builds consistency. Next, devote practice time to method book exercises or your performance music. Whatever the student wants to play or improve should be part of their routine. This will allow the student to actually have practice time independently. So make sure you also have your recordings with them too. And lastly, let them spend time enjoying old pieces, reviewing, improvising, and building reading skills. This keeps practice fun and meaningful. Make the student accountable for their practice time. That's where the real growth happens. Remember, the obligation of the music teacher, band director is to search for and provide the best and fulfilling music curriculum and program to ensure student success and growth.
So my experience playing the flute, it was actually pretty easy. The only hard part was, of course, learning like my fingerings, because I would play like the notes a different way, but I kept practicing and I was getting better.
And students, I didn't forget about you. I want you to remember the 4 Ds. And I say this mantra to all of my students because it is a formula for success in music and in life. Dedication. Dedication means you show up. Even on the days you don't feel like it, you commit to the process, not just the results. Determination. Determination is what keeps you going when something is hard. It's that mindset that says, I'm not giving up until I get this. Drive. Drive is your internal push. The energy and motivation that makes you want to improve, want to grow, and want to be better than where you were yesterday. So dedication, determination, and drive equals to discipline. And discipline is the result of the first 3. It's the habit of doing the right things consistently. Practicing, preparing, showing up, and giving your best every time. So remember, dedication, determination, drive. That's how you build discipline. And discipline is how you become the musician you want to be.